Hey, everybody. Welcome in to Hold My Banner. If you love this show, first of all, thank you. Secondly, make sure you check out Foxborough Rush, available on Nesson as well. There, George Malecki and I break down what the Patriots should do with the number 4 overall pick. Emphasis on should do. Check out Foxborough Rush. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcast. All right, here we go. What time is it? Game time. Hold my banner time, baby. Travis Thomas here with the walking, talking triple-double. Ante Campbell. How you doing, Poppy?
I'm doing good, as always, 2Ts. What's up, man? How was your weekend?
It was good, man. It was a humbling experience hanging out with you at Fenway, and you just walking around the joint. Everybody knows you and loves you. Shout outs to Jamie, who we talk about all the time on Hold My Banner. I got to see her, but it was a humbling experience for me watching the Ante Campbell experience at Fenway.
Yeah, whatever. Let's talk about the Celtics.
See? Humble.
Let's talk about the C's, dog. Because the Red Sox are making me sad right now. So let's just talk about the C's, all right?
Fair. 9 straight wins for the C's, looking for 10 tonight at home against the Heat. But let's start where we last left them. Derrick White actually set a Celtics record in a 117-103 win over the Grizzlies. White set a Celtics single-season three-point record in the win, 6-0. They sweep this road trip for the first time in franchise history. That is amazing. So 9-game win streak, the first 6-game road trip sweep in franchise history. Lots to talk about there with the Celtics. Congrats to Derrick White, too. Single-season three-point record in the win. By the way, it should be noted, Jason Tatum and Peyton Pritchard are on pace to break the OG record as well. So threes galore for the Celtics. What else is new? They win this game against the Grizzlies without Jaylen Brown, too, Ante. Yeah. I mean, how often do we say that about this team? No Jaylen Brown, no problem. No Jason Tatum, no problem. It's like next man up. They're too deep for everyone involved.
Yeah, they are. And the thing about this team is that they're just rolling through everybody's expectations, and they're clicking at the right time. Right. I mean, earlier this year, Celtics fans like to get a little worried, and they're, this game, that game, we shouldn't have lost this game, we shouldn't have, whatever, we barely escaped out of that game. And I told everybody, hey, calm down. Even Steve Kerr told everybody, hey, this is a championship team. This is what championship teams do. They go through lulls. They're not perfect. They're going to have periods where they don't play perfect basketball. Even Derrick White, who set the record this year at some point, stopped liking basketball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's
and they
right.
needed to get back to being themselves. Champions go through this. This is a lot of these guys' first championships besides, Jrue. This first championship for most of these dudes. And so it's an opportunity for them now to get it going, and they showed us that they can really, really win on the road. And we know they've been a great team on the road. Let's see if they can get back to being a great team at home. They have a couple of home games coming up soon, and I want to see if they're really locked in again.
I think that's well said. I think they are locked in. And by the way, this is what championship teams can do. What you talked about, how earlier in the season there were several times, we talked about it on the show, where maybe they looked a little sketch, a little sus. Some fans were nervous, not most fans. You and I certainly were not.
Right.
Because we understood, okay, when it's go time, when it's winning time, when it's championship time, this team can flip a switch. I think a lot of times fans go mad because their favorite teams have never won anything, and they come out and they start slow, or they go through a lull, and it just doesn't seem to be any sense of urgency with the team. And you can't flip a switch if you haven't really won anything before. There's no such thing as that. You're either on or off, period.
Yeah.
I think in the Celtics case, though, they have proven. Now, it just so happened last season that switch was on. Like there was no problem. They annihilated everyone. Felt like wire to wire.
Yeah.
But they hadn't won anything yet.
Right. They were still the hungry team.
That's
the
right.
team that had to prove something, right?
Exactly.
Now they've already proved it.
Now they've proven it, and I think now they are just flipping that switch. But I'll give this team credit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even necessarily call it when they lose games or they go on a lull. I wouldn't say the switch is off, Ante. What I see, and we have talked about this before on Hold My Banner, it feels like they're bored sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
I can see that.
It's like the malaise of a long season, And they know we can flip the switch at any time.
Right.
It's just like, all right, it's an off night, especially if that three's not falling, forget about it.
Yeah.
But this team right now, to your point, man, they are peaking at the right time. They're getting healthier. You know, Jaylen Brown, I'm sure, could have played, but sitting him out, I believe it was a knee. It felt very precautionary. I think this team's going to go into postseason healthy. And much like last year, the question now becomes, can you stay that way, particularly with Kristaps Porzingis, right? I mean, right now he looks great. He looks great.
He does.
But he looked great at the end of the regular season last season, too, and he got hurt in 5 minutes once the postseason started.
Yeah, but then he gave them the lift that they needed in the finals.
Right.
You know, so.
But can I get him for a full postseason run, Ante? I think that's a fair question.
It is a fair question, and I'm hoping that we do get him, and I don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is that you're right. This team is flipping the switch. Old man Al, we have to talk about him a little bit because I don't think we talk about him enough. Dude, 26 points in that game.
Yeah, dude.
And it's not even just that game. The last 3 games, he's really been a solid, consistent source of baskets, defense, rebounding that the Celtics need. And so in the last 3 games, it just shows like, hey, Florida's in the Final Four.
Yeah.
He's reminding us of his Florida days, his championship pedigree that he's always had. We always knew that he was a winner in the NBA. He just needed that ring. Mm-hmm. He got that ring. I think this is probably the last hurrah for Al, and he knows it. He's got his kid running around with him all year this year. You know what I mean? Showing him the ropes, showing him the league. He knows this is it for him. Or at least that's what I'm assuming.
It's winding down.
Right. That is,
nothing else.
If this is not it, then maybe it's next year, but it's coming to a close.
We're close. Yep.
We're close, right?
Yep.
And he's realizing that, and he's like, hey, I have another opportunity to help my team get over the hump because he also sees the same things. KP could not play. You know what I mean? Kornet could play at the same level that Kornet's been playing at recently, or he could not. He could fade away in the playoffs, right?
That's right.
But Al is a guy that has been consistent for them throughout all of his tenure as a Celtic, and so he knows that it's his job to be that same guy when those lights come on in April.
Man, that's such a great point. I would go even further in a sense of, you know, he makes the big shots, and we talk about that and the points. But how about the defensive end, too? I mean, this guy just does everything. He's a leader. He's a winner. We understand that. He's a champion. I'll also say this. There's a little parallel with him and Tom Brady. And here's what I mean. You know, the NFL changed.
Yeah.
And at the time it changed, we didn't know it at the time, but you look back on it, it clearly benefited Tom Brady's game. Yeah. Meaning, what happened? You couldn't hit the quarterback as much as you could earlier in Brady's career. Wide receivers, you know, you changed the rules. It was a lot easier for wideouts to get open now.
Yep.
There wasn't as much physicality allowed, especially at the line. And, you know, to increase the scoring and to keep your stars up, right? We understood why the NFL did it, but those rule changes benefited Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And Brady was smart enough to see it and say, you know what? I need to get rid of the ball quicker, and I need to make sure my body is capable of having a long career because me playing within this rule system, I can play longer and be more effective, and I have a greater chance of winning Super Bowls the longer I play. He was right on all accounts.
Yeah.
I use that example because with Al Horford, the NBA changed.
It did.
While he was playing. He has already proven in his career he could be a walking, talking double-double.
Right.
He had proven he can be an all-star. Now, he didn't prove he could be the man on a championship team, but who cares? He got championships later, you know, being a role player. And I think spreading the ball, the three-point shot, I think all this stuff, again, much like Brady, Horford was smart enough to recognize the change, Ante, really developed his three-point shot, and he's playing forever, it feels like. And the longer you play, the more contracts and the more chance you have to win titles.
100%. I mean, the 6 threes that he made in that game against the Grizzlies proves your point. He's, you know, I always talk about this guy because it was one of the biggest swings from not shooting threes to shooting threes with Brook Lopez.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But we always give that guy credit. Al, once again, needs more credit for, like you said, he was a 15-foot guy. That's what I saw him as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His whole career. A guy that shoot the 15-footer off the glass, you know what I mean? Elbows out like he likes to shoot it, you know what I mean? But it would go in every single time. He was that kind of a killer. And, of course, obviously physical, you know, next to the rim, gets offensive boards and puts it back up. Now, the game is more free-flowing, less, you know, four-man being big, four-man really playing the five. You know what I mean?
No,
that's
you're right.
how I looked at Al. He was a four-man.
Facts.
And now he's a five. Mm-hmm. But in this, you know, non-traditional era where you have to be able to shoot threes, space the floor, play defense as well. Let's also talk about the Grizzlies because we talked about them a lot, you know, previewing this game.
Yeah.
And then over the weekend, they fired their head coach, Taylor Jenkins, which we didn't see see coming.
I didn't see any of this. They've lost 3 in a row. Listen, you know, if you remember on our League Pass games to watch, I've been rolling with the Grizzlies lately. And it's because it's been a litmus test, as I said. I want to see – right now, I think they're the 5 seed out west.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see – they played so many really tough teams, both at home and on the road, at the upper echelon of the Western Conference.
Right.
I just wanted to see them go up against them, and they have failed every single test. I'm at the point now where – and I know Jenkins got fired. Taylor Jenkins, the coach.
Yeah.
But – I'm at the point now, I'm just looking at Ja Morant different. And even in the Celtics game we're talking about, he's hitting big shots. He's keeping them in the game, but just so much trash talking, so much showboat. And it's like, bro, you're down. Like you're not even leading in the game. I mean, it was back and forth, but the Celtics were in control because it seemed like even when the Grizzlies would take a lead, and this is why the Celtics are so devastating, couple threes, next thing you know, you're down 4. And it's just like, what the hell happened? So that's the ebb and flow of the game, but he's out here celebrating because he's having a good game. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Ja Morant, and we talked about this in the offseason. I said, I need to see if he's matured. Now, that's as far as getting in trouble. That's really the – that's what I was talking about. Which hasn't been an issue. So I think he has matured to a certain extent. But Ante, like, he still has work to do. Yeah. Because I'm now looking at him as – boy, you can stuff a stat sheet like no one's business. You can provide highlights like no one's business. You can talk trash like no one's business. You can gritty like no one's business. You can dunk on people like no one's business. But I don't see leadership, and it's feeling like empty calories. Now you get a coach fired. That we've seen guys in this league get that reputation. I'm looking at Ja Morant with the side eye a little bit. I think he needs a big playoff. He needs a big playoff series. I think they need to win a playoff series because neither one of us believe in the Grizzlies.
No.
I think if you can win a first-round series and play well, that could help. But if they get bounced in that first round, I may be selling a lot of stock in Ja Morant. And by the way, there's a good chance they could get bounced in the first round. If it started today, they're playing LeBron and Luka.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give Tumas Isalo a chance to kind of show their new interim coach to try to show us what he can do with this team.
If Ja buys in,
yeah, if he buys in, you got to see. But they're going to get an opportunity to play playoff games. We're going to see if they win some of those games. We're going to see what his defensive strategies are, like. We're going to see what his X and O's are like. A finished coach, European style basketball, which Taylor Jenkins has some European style to his coaching style as well. Yeah. So we'll see if he can help them. Obviously, playing against the Celtics isn't a good litmus test because they beat everybody once again 6-0 on a 9-game win streak. So it is what it is. There's also been some talks about the Celtics as well. Mm-hmm. A couple of talks about possible trades going on in the offseason. I know we're not through this season yet, but there's a growing belief that the Boston Celtics may have to trade Kristaps Porzingis or Jrue Holiday for cap purposes. You and I have been talking about this because second apron. I've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, you have.
We get the new owner with Bill Chisholm. We're like, is he going to be spending the bag? Is he going to be willing to go into the second apron? But it does handcuff Brad Stevens from being able to help this team make moves if guys get hurt, whatever in the future. So it is still detrimental, even if not just detrimental towards your pockets. Travis, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's depressing. You and I have been talking about it. I am trying to stay focused on a championship run.
Okay.
Getting you and I.
Give me the PR answer.
Getting you and I in TD Garden for the playoff games.
Yep.
getting you and I back to a championship parade for the second year in a row. And then after that, I can cry myself to sleep. I can transition from tears of joy to tears of pain because I do think this is coming.
Yeah.
And I think these names are being floated in reports for a reason.
Yeah.
I think Brad Stevens fleeced every team involved to get these two players. And I think in the end, he's likely going to have to move both of them.
Yeah.
But as I say all that, and you and I both feel the same way, you more so for the Holiday family.
Yeah.
But we both love Holiday and Porzingis. But I will say this. I would much rather say goodbye to them and figure out a way to keep Brown and Tatum together for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And fill in the blanks, in Brad Stevens we trust. Because I don't think this can just be a draft pick thing. I think you got to get back guys who can play and get you minutes and be in the rotation.
Yeah.
You can't just look to the future. So
and this is where I worry, right? Okay. We talked about Al. It could be the last year for him. We don't know, right? Could be the last year for him. KP, once again, you talk about the health issues. If they decide that they want to keep KP because he's a little bit younger,
right?
Let Jrue walk, you know what I mean? KP, is he going to be there for playoff games, right?
Right.
And then you got Luke Cornett, who's playing way above his contract on a 1-year deal this year. He's going to be out of here. I don't think there's probably any way that Luke Cornett is wearing the Boston Celtics jersey next season. He had 16 rebound double-double the other night off the bench.
That's right.
Like, what are we talking about? He's not going to be here come this time next year. So that starts making me worry because you say, keep Tatum and Brown together. But we seen Tatum and Brown with a gaggle of different bigs and that gaggle of different guards. And really, KP and Jrue have been, and even Al, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have been the glue of what made last year's championship team special, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm a little nervous when you're talking about, those guys are going to be gone. When you're looking at Luke Cornett, who's been given great minutes, and you're looking at Al maybe possibly leaving, I'm like, I don't know about the next season, dog. But we'll focus on this year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I said this a long time ago to you. I think we will eventually look back on these years and say, man, that team should have got more championships. I really think –
100%.
I think they're going to get it. I think we certainly hope, but I think they're going to get it this year. And then I think it's going to be a challenge. And it's not to say they won't get one more.
Right.
But I think it's going to –
Brad's
going to be a little
have
tougher.
To get in this bag.
Yes. It's going to get a little tougher. And he was in this bag to get these 2 titles.
Yeah.
So we'll see. By the way, in 30 seconds, we'll preview who the Celtics play tonight, and I'll tell you how the C's ruin that franchise. But first, if you want to hear all about Boston sports, check out Nesson's daily sports podcast, Boston Has Entered the Chat. You too can enter the conversation by tweeting at us using the hashtag NessonChat, or you can old-fashioned email us at chat@nesson.com. Boston Has Entered the Chat is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, Tay, now I tease this because I really believe this to be true. So the Celtics host the Heat tonight, right, at TD Garden.
Yeah.
The Heat are hot right now, pun intended, 5-game win streak. We know we've talked about the Celtics are on a 9-game win streak.
Yep.
Possible. Not in stone, but possible. This could be a first-round matchup, okay? I have zero fear in my heart about Heat culture. In fact.
Zero fear?
Zero.
Like not even 0.1?
No.
0.01?
Zero. In fact, I wrote this down. I'm making a running list of teams I think the Celtics have broke.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Honestly, like franchises. The Heat, now that Jimmy's gone, they are done. And the whole reason Jimmy's gone is because the Celtics finished them. Right. Let us never forget. Jimmy couldn't even play against the Celtics in the last playoff series. He got the bump in his gums, and Pat Riley says, shut up, bruh. Okay. You're not even playing. Yeah. By the way, Riles was right. But Jimmy Butler got all in his feelings like Drake, and instead of suing, he pouted his way out of town, okay? Wow. So guess what? Celtics, I must break you. They broke you, Heat. Here's the other one.
Okay.
Here's the other one.
Yep.
Remember when everyone trusted the process? How that turned out.
Come on, bro. After 1 year,
Celtics.
they weren't healthy this season.
Celtics broke the process. And I got one more for you because I'm looking in the future.
Okay.
Dame may never play again, respectfully. And we hope he's okay.
Respectfully.
But he may, but like, can we be honest?
Yeah.
He may never play again.
100%, yeah.
Okay, so Giannis is about to force his arse out of town, as I told you would happen, okay? You are lucky the trade deadline's gone, and we are this late in the season, because Giannis would do it now. But he'll wait till the offseason. Giannis is finna be up out of there. The Celtics are destroying people. They are collecting infinity stones like Thanos. Listen, Celtics by 1,000 tonight. Give me the C's 116, Heat 94.
116-94.
How's that in the rant?
116-94?
Yes, Lord.
I don't know if I can roll with that.
Why not? They broke them.
Because here's the thing, bro. They beat the Grizzlies 117-103. They just had a head coach fired. Spurs are limping into the lottery. You know what I mean?
Facts.
They beat them 121-111.
Facts.
So, they blew out the Suns, and we both predicted
whatever.
that. We both predicted
Suns
that.
suck.
That was whatever.
They're trash.
They're garbage. So, yeah. But, this Heat team is a team that's on a 5-game winning streak.
So?
Once again against trash opponents.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But they always play everybody tough. They always fight. They're always hard.
Nah.
I just think I think it's going to be a hard out for the Celtics.
No,
on this
really.
one. But not even like okay, last minute buzzer beater. Look, March is over. We're in April now.
All right. Facts.
Madness it's not over, but we in April now. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna lose by 10. I'll go Celtics 124.
All right. 114.
Yeah,
All right.
Heat 114.
That's fair.
Yeah.
An L's an L. And like I said, the bigger picture, my biggest take here in this segment.
But you have to do the 20-piece to them like they're trash.
They have broken franchises, and the Bucks are next. I'm just telling you. If you're the Pistons, you're in good shape.
So
if you're the Knicks, Sixers,
yeah,
Heat,
yeah,
Bucks,
yeah,
finito.
So in a playoff series, this is sweet.
Yeah, come on, dog.
Not gentlemen's, just straight up.
It's over.
20-point wins.
It's
easy
over
every night.
It's over. Here's the best thing that can happen to the Heat. Ready? Giannis forces his way out of town, and Pat Riley says, "You know what? I like him."
And why would he play?
He'll buy into Heat culture.
Why would he want to play there?
He's a Riles guy. What do you mean?
Why would he want to play there?
What do you mean?
You're telling me they're garbage. Who do they have? Bam?
I think Giannis would accept a trade
Bam ain't even
to
the
the
best
Heat.
basketball player in his household.
He would. That's a fact. He would accept a trade to the Heat in part because of Bam, but bigger part because of Riles and Spo. He would believe in that. That's how Giannis is. He's that type to buy into that. And he's played against them enough.
Well, look, you're a betting man. I have to check and see if you have any bets that you like from this game, possibly.
Yeah, I'm laying whatever points necessary for the Celtics. Didn't I just tell you they're going to beat their arse? Want the latest on the Patriots and the NFL? We'll tell you what Mike Vrabel and the Pats should do. Emphasis on should do with the 4th pick in the NFL draft on Nesson's Football Podcast, Foxborough Rush. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. Now, this is not an episode of Hold My Banner without a game from our esteemed walking, talking triple-double, Ante Campbell. What do you got for me today?
Oh, man. All right. Look, I got to just ask you a straight-up question. It's not even that hard of a game, Travis.
All right.
What NBA superstars are going to request a trade?
Oh, I hope Giannis is on this list.
And how likely is it for these things to happen? All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10,
all right,
1 being these dudes are staying right where they're at, 10 being get them out as soon as the season's over.
All right. I'm going to give you percentages.
Yeah, that's fine too.
I'll give you percentages.
Give me a percentage. How likely is it that these players are on the move?
All right, I'm ready.
First, we'll start off with the guy's butt that we just beat, Ja Morant.
Oh, Ja.
How likely is it that he requests a trade?
I don't think it is. I mean, I'll give it 20% because it's possible. but I don't think it's likely. You said player that'll force their way out, right?
Yeah.
That's the angle we're taking. Yeah. Nah. I don't think – if you're Ja, why would you do that? They're doing everything you want. You got the bag. They stuck by you through thick and thin when you were acting a damn fool out here, okay? And now, I mean, I hate to say it, but I feel like he ran a coach off. This late in the season, and you fire a coach and you're the 5th seed, like, come on, bro. Like, that, you can't tell me that's Ja doesn't, as the face of the franchise, have something to do with that. I think he's having his way. Like the Migos and Drake. I think Ja is probably happy in his situation for now. The Grizzlies may punt on him, but I don't think that's likely either. But Ja forcing his way out? Nah, I'll go 20%, if that.
Nah.
He's having his way.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
What do you mean?
You got to look at it.
He got a coach fired. That is a fire. That's a fire.
I understand, but you also have to look at it from like a Donovan, not a Donovan.
He got him fired. You talking about Donovan Mitchell? He got his way.
No, I'm talking about De'Aaron Fox. You gotta look at it from that situation, right? Where it's like, hey, bro, I've been out here. Y'all haven't really gave me an elite running mate.
Right, facts.
You know, like Domantas Sabonis, I'm not slighting his name. He's a great player. All-star, all this other stuff, right? But it takes a top 5.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Wing to win in this league at this point, right?
Yep.
So you haven't paired me up with a guy like that or given me an opportunity to play with a guy that we think could be that or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
The same thing over there in Memphis. Triple J's a great player. We showed him a lot of flowers in the last episode. He's a great player. We love his game, all this stuff. But he's not a championship level number 2 or number 1 guy, right?
Right.
So my thing is, Ja's going to be sitting there. He's going to be looking around. He's going to be like, okay, who are you guys actually putting next to me that I could just say, here, and I could kind of chill, and they could give it back to me, and I could go off and go crazy, and we could just have this 1-2 punch that really terrorizes the league, right? Which is what you need in this league. We have it here in Boston with Tatum and Brown. You know what I'm saying? So with Brown being the number 2 guy, but winning Finals MVP. You know what I'm saying? So here, my thing is, if I'm Ja, we're probably going to sit there in a couple of months or maybe, once we get into next season, and you might start seeing them be frustrated and be like, I don't know if Memphis is the place where I can actually win this thing, dog.
All right. We'll see.
What about this one? Your boy, Giannis.
Oh, this is – I was waiting on this one 100%. There's only 3 places I think that make sense for him.
Okay.
I think the Heat makes sense. Before they traded for Jimmy Butler, if you remember, I was forcing them to the Warriors because I knew they wanted another star.
Yeah.
They settled for Jimmy Butler. That's what Jimmy Butler was.
Okay.
The hot person they wanted to marry was not available. Okay. They were in a relationship. So they settled for Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I think that was a mistake. But if Giannis is still possible to go to the Warriors, I would put them on the list because they're a smart franchise. They would figure it out. And then I think the best places where I thought Jimmy Butler should have gone, I think the Rockets make a lot of sense for Giannis as well. Those are the 3 destinations. But I am 100% convinced, and I was before the season started, check the tape, that he was going to force his way out. I didn't think it would be like this. Dame and him were playing really well. Dame has some health issues that are scary. I think Giannis has grown frustrated. He will force his way out this offseason.
Yeah.
100%.
This season? After the season's over?
Off season. Yep. This off season.
Man.
Heat, Warriors, or Rockets. Keep your eye out.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
He's got a couple years left on his deal, right? He's under control with the Bucks until 2027. Then he has a player option in 2027, 2028. LeBron is going to finish his NBA career next year in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And
Lakers. Giannis and Luka. I could see it.
Is the future.
I don't hate it.
That's what I'm thinking. He's gonna, whatever. He's gonna see if Dame could play one more year with him next year. Blah blah blah, whatever. Yep. And then after it goes to, trash, whatever, when that playoffs ends, because I don't feel like he's a guy to say request a trade during the middle of the season.
No,
I feel like he's more of a
he's an off-season
kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think he goes and he says, there's a vacancy over there in Los Angeles. They got a nice young guy that could go win one.
Right.
And Austin Reeves, who I'm sure will still be over there.
Yeah.
And whatever else the Lakers do to get a big next season too. And he says, maybe I'll go try that out. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go, you said after this season, so I'm not going to go 100%. I'm going to go 90 because he's going to request it in 2026 or whatever. All right, what about this guy right here, Trae Young?
I almost feel the same way with Trae Young as I did with Ja Morant. I would raise his a little bit because there's more history there now of losing.
Yeah.
So what did I go for Ja? 20? I'll go 30% for Trae Young. Same thing, though. He's the man. And they've acquiesced to everything he wants. They've tried to get him running mates several times. It hasn't worked. I kind of feels like they maybe peaked with Trae Young being their best player, to try and win a championship. They made it to an Eastern Conference Finals in sort of a fluky year, but they did get there.
Yeah.
But they've been chasing that high ever since, and I think that high is over.
Yeah.
I think the franchise may realize we need to move off of this guy. But if you're Trae Young, what the hell for? You're getting the money. They're doing everything you want. I mean, you're putting up numbers. At this point, why would he force his hand? I don't think he is. I'll go 30%.
I'm going to go 5. And the reason that I'm going to go 5 is because I don't really see Trae Young as a guy that really seems like he cares too much about them winning championships.
Right. He's the man. I think he wants to be the man.
He wants to be the man.
Yeah.
He wants to get buckets. He wants to have the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
He wants people to get on Twitter and say, help Trae Young, help Trae Young, help Trae Young. I feel like if he has to play winning, meaningful basketball, which is what he had to do when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, he has to play defense. And in order, and people will, when you get deeper in those playoffs, you start to get nitpicked. We saw it with Tatum. We see it with Luka all the time now. You know what I mean? The better your team is, the more you get nitpicked, and I don't think he wants that smoke. So I'm gonna say 5%. What about Kevin Durant?
Oh, please, 0. Listen. Honestly,
0?
You know why? He had a chance to be traded. He didn't take it.
Yeah.
They had a deal done with the Warriors. He didn't want to go back to Golden State. My thing at that time was twofold. 1, why the hell not? And then 2, okay, fine. You don't want to go to Golden State? I guess in a way we could all
that makes sense.
We could all see it.
Right.
Even though I disagree with that, we can all see it.
It makes sense.
But you can hold their feet to the fire and say, I'm not going to Golden State, but get me the hell out of Dodge. And he didn't do it. My theory to this, and we know him to be sensitive and a little prickly, he doesn't like criticism. Yeah. He's in Phoenix, dog. Kevin Durant would not work in Boston or New York. Well, Brooklyn was different. But the Knicks, under that microscope, there are certain cities that don't fit because of the media. He's not going to work in Philly. Are you kidding? In Phoenix? No one's holding him accountable and holding his feet to the fire. He's left alone to just hoop. He's going to waste away there.
He wants to win one. He wants to win one. He wants to win one.
Then he should have went back with Steph, bro. I don't believe it. No, I'm just telling you. I'm at 0.
And I'm telling you, like, he wants to win one. Not as bad as he wanted to win one when he left OKC and went to the Warriors. But I think he wants to win one on his own because he hears what people are saying. He's not dumb.
He's not going to win it there.
We know he has the Twitter fingers. You know what I'm saying? And people are saying, bro, you won, but you won because of Steph. Like, those are Steph's rings.
He's not going to win it in Phoenix, Tay.
I know. And so that's why I'm like, you're saying 0. I'm going to at least give him 20. It's not high because I agree with you. I don't think he wants people to say, oh, he request another trade, request another trade, request another trade. He doesn't want to build that narrative. He wants to go and win one at some point, on his own.
I'll say this in closing. Oklahoma City not trying to pursue him is very telling.
Yeah.
They have draft picks out there, yin-yang.
Yeah.
And they didn't even try. And he's a really good fit for what they got going, too.
Okay. What about this
interesting.
What about this last guy? Then we'll move on. What about LaMelo Ball?
Maybe 20%. It feels like we're both in lockstep of at least putting 20, twin on it. Yeah. If there's a chance you could roll out.
Yeah.
But
But him requesting it, though.
Yeah, with him requesting it, he holds all the cards. He already got paid. He's putting up numbers. He's popular. I think the All-Star games will come. We know he was a snub.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, bro. Like, why? I'm not going to force my way out of here. I got it made right now. I'm the man.
Yeah.
Now, he's young enough to not be as concerned with winning right now. Not
Yeah.
that everyone's not trying to win, but I'm just saying he could chase that stuff later. Get your bag, get your popularity, grow your brand, check. He's doing all that. He can waste away there. He's under contract there. They gave him the bag.
They did give him
He can waste away there for 5 more years and then figure it out.
I don't know. I won't say this season. I think he needs to play at least one full season of healthy-ish basketball.
Fine.
Play 70 games. Give us that at least one time, right?
Whoop-de-doo.
And then I think he'll get out. So I'm gonna say 10, just because I think it's gonna be next year, not after next year, not this year.
Hey, eventually we know he's going to end up in L.A., whether it's Clippers or Lakers. He's going to one of them damn teams. All right, I wanted to ask you this because I saw this. Zion Williamson and C.J. McCollum have been shut down for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
They might as well. They both dealt with injuries. Zion with a backbone contusion, C.J. McCollum with a foot contusion per Bleacher Report. You're looking at the tweet right now for those of you on the viewing side of things. And this didn't move me much. The Pelicans stink.
Yeah.
21-54 overall this year. They stink. But this is a bigger conversation, particularly with Zion. He got in shape this offseason. He looked pretty good.
He did.
When he played, he looked in better shape. He looked more explosive. He looked more like the guy we thought, okay, this is a focused Zion. Now can he put it together for a full season? The answer was not no. It was hell no. Officially, I told you my Ja Morant stock is on watch. It's on a watch list right now.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like, I might unload this.
Right.
I am out of the Zion Williamson business.
Wow.
I'm out. All my stock's gone. I'd already sold it off, and I held a little piece this season because, all right, he looks in shape. Nah, he cannot, definitively, he cannot stay healthy. And then I can't trust him enough to build his body consistently to where maybe he can get out of this and he can figure it out and find a sweet spot and stay healthy. I can't trust that. Yeah. And then when he is in shape, he gets hurt, I'm out. It's never going to work. I don't think he's bad enough to ever be a biggest bust of an NBA draft or anything like that, but he will be a what-if guy for years.
Yeah, he might be a bust kind of guy. The thing about it is, Travis, this is his 4th year out of 6 where he's played 30 games or less.
Man.
4th year out of 6.
It's not good.
I don't think this injury is real. This is them going to tank. They got Charlotte 2 games behind them. They're sitting in that 4th spot as far as the lottery system goes right now, and they're seeing the opportunity like, hey, if Charlotte's sitting LaMelo out for the rest of the season, then we're going to sit our last playing guys. What I did want to ask you about this, one, does C.J. McCollum have anything left in the tank as far as an NBA player goes? And 2, is this a team that people could be sleeping on this season, but next season could shock some people?
No one's sleeping on them this season. They suck.
I mean, not sleeping on them. They're trash. But
they're trash.
I think we could go into our preview next year, and we could be like, the Pelicans, write them off because we look at that record, we look at the injuries, and we say, hey, they could suck. But if they could put a healthy season together and they have that top 5 draft pick wherever they do end up landing, that's what it's going to take. They could be a team that we're paying attention to next year. That's what it's going to take.
Listen, you get Flagg, Harper, or Bailey. Come talk to me. If you don't get one of them last names, no. Because, listen, they need a new face. It's not going to be Zion. That's my point. Yeah. As far as McCollum, I wouldn't be shocked to see him with the Celtics at some point.
Ooh.
Listen, we're talking about
replace
trades
that Jrue and all that other stuff.
Bro, we got to trade this guy. We got to figure this out. The money's funny.
He's not going to do the Jrue role though. Like Jrue, what he does for the Celtics is
that's
special.
not what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm saying bargain basement shopping. Okay, because of all these contracts.
Yeah,
he's going to be available. He's old and can shoot. Come on in, son. They'll figure out the role from there. I wouldn't be shocked if he's a Celtic.
I like C.J. McCollum. I don't want him here in Boston. But look, I'm just telling you. You got Herb Jones, who's out for the year. You got what is the kid's name? Trey Murphy, who's playing at a crazy level this season for them. You have Yves Mensah, who's a great rookie, big for them. You have DeJounte Murray, who's out for the season, coming back next season. Hopefully, Zion. Once again, I don't think Zion's not healthy. Back contusion, he's bruised on his back. He's fine. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll. Hopefully, I'm not. I don't know, but I think he's starting to look locked in. Second half of the season, he started to look healthy. They chose to saddle him out of back-to-backs, which was their choice. But he's been playing basketball. He's been playing healthy. He looks locked in. His body looks great. People aren't fat-shaming him on the internet, all of that type of stuff. You add that along with the other pieces that they have, because they do have some other good shooters here and there and good defenders here and there. This is a making of a team. When you add a top 3 guy, like you were saying, if they get a Harper, they get an Ace Bailey, maybe even looking to get in a Cooper Flag, this is a team that next year could be a 40-win team and sneak into not in the West, but, flirt with a playoff appearance. You know what I'm saying? It could be.
Well, I ain't lying, man. I don't know if you drinking whatever Zion's eating or what, but you tripping on that one.
Whatever.
Hopefully all of your brackets aren't a joke when it comes down to the Final Four in March Madness this weekend. But I will tell you one way, college basketball is absolutely a joke. That in 30 seconds. Stream the entire Red Sox season with a NESN 360 annual plan. It's available at an all-new reduced price of just $20 a month, paid annually. And for a limited time, get 4 free tickets to Fenway with your purchase. Visit NESN360.com to sign up today. All right, Tay, I couldn't wait to talk to you about this. I mean, this laundry list I'm holding is just too damn long. Notre Dame standout guard Olivia Miles foregoing the WNBA draft. So that's shocking in and of itself. But now she's entering the transfer portal. What? So so Shams tweeted this. Here's a Bleacher Report tweet. And she was projected as a number 2 pick in the WNBA draft. But so she says, hey, I'm not even going to go pro. I'm going to transfer up out of here. But wait, there's more. We'll talk about her. Hunter Dickinson with Kansas. TCU's Sidonia Price, all entering the transfer portal and will finish their careers, listen to this, Tay, at the age of 25. What is going on, bro? Hunter Dickinson, I covered him in high school, and then I had a whole career in D.C., and then I came to Boston, where I've seen a championship run, and I've been working here, it feels like forever. He's still playing college basketball. What is going on, Ante?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the Death Star exploded. Like, that's how far in the future we are since the beginning of his career.
Like, what's going on,
to
bro?
now, I don't even know. We'll get back to them in a second. I got to talk about Olivia Miles because that's the one that was so shocking to me.
Everyone.
I couldn't believe it. All it says to me is, WNBA, get your bag right. That's all I see. WNBA, your bag. It ain't good.
She can make more in college.
She's going to make more in college. She's going to be one of the top players. And people are saying, oh, she's never going to be projected higher, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah. Once she gets into the league, she's still going to be a great player, whether she's the 2nd pick in the draft
I love her game.
Or the 5th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
She's going to be a great player when she does enter the WNBA.
She might be the first now.
Right. She might be. And then on top of that, she's going to be walking in with even more NIL money. Who knows where she ends up at? She could end up at a school with a better, brand than Notre Dame. No offense to Notre Dame. They do have a great brand, but there are some schools that come with a little more cachet and that have a bigger fan base than Notre Dame does nationally and internationally, right?
Facts.
So she could be setting herself up to really make herself a name like how we see a Paige Beckers, like how we see a Juju Watkins, like how we see a Caitlin Clark, like how we see an Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, right? A name that everybody knows because we know because we're watching these games and we're paying attention to what's happening in women's college basketball. But Olivia Miles doesn't have that same kind of cachet as those women that I just named.
Yeah.
She could be that a year from now. So it's one of those situations where I'm like, yeah, maybe she's doing the right thing.
I guess. It's just crazy to me. Hey, you know what? To be honest, if I'm USC, I'm going to figure it out because we got to get Juju back healthy. I'm going to get this player. You got the funds to do it.
Right.
But look, in the end, I do think, and maybe this makes me sound like an old head, so be it, old man who yells at clouds. I'm going to yell at him because I think the NIL and the transfer portal is great.
Yeah.
However, there needs to be guardrails. And even going back to what we were talking about, Hunter Dickinson and all these 40-year-olds in college sports, because it's on the football side too.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, at some point, this can't be the Wild Wild West, because that's what it is now. You got to have some sort of guardrails. and protocols in place for this stuff because these players are taking advantage of this stuff.
For all of it, though, you want to talk about players, and I'm all with you on that. Yes, it does need to be regulated, but we got Kevin Willard accepting jobs while his team is still playing basketball. You know, that stuff's not cool either.
Good
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there has to be some guardrails for these coaches to not just be dipping out on programs and doing all different type of stuff and using teams as a 1-year list to prop themselves up to go somewhere else and all this other stuff as well.
Yeah.
If we're going to be mad at the players, then we have to keep the coaches accountable as well. But look, the real issue that I have with Sedona Prince and Hunter Dickinson is, bro, you guys are going to be 25 years old at the end of the season, at the end of your college career, like Travis told us. Bro, I was a guy who redshirted in college. I played college basketball at 23. Right. And do you know how old I felt walking around a college campus? I got my teammates telling me about an 18-year-old girl and their friends telling me about an 18-year-old boy.
You're
and
like,
I'm looking at them like a grandpa and being like, yo, why are y'all talking about that?
Right.
Like, what does that even matter, right?
Right.
You know, still running through the same conditioning program, still seeing the same coaches, same teammates, dapping up the same people, eating the same lunch meals. Like, at some point, bro, you have to say, all right, college has been great for me. It's been great. The NIL bag, I understand. That's why it's coming back, whatever. But I got to go and be an adult and do some adult things.
Absolutely.
I was like, senior year, I was like, man, I can't wait to be outside and do a regular job and, you know, or continue to play basketball, whatever. I was ready to be out of college basketball as a whole, right? So if you're going to sit there as a 25-year-old and say, hey, I got to compete against people who are 7 years older, 7.
Right.
These kids weren't even in middle school.
That's right.
Who they're going to be competing
Isn't that crazy?
against. They weren't even in middle school when these guys left high school.
That's right.
It's insane. There needs to be some regulations about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thanks for sharing that personal insight, too. That's why you're so great on this show. All right, League Pass game to watch. I'm going to go Thunder at Rockets Friday night. SGA and the boys are hotter than fish grease. They've won 10 straight, and you know how I feel about the Rockets, okay? You get them at home. Show me you're the real deal, Holyfield, because I put my money where my mouth is for you, Rockets. You're 1-3 against the Thunder this season. Come on, get in the fight. I'm taking the Rockets at home. Money line to win this game. Big spot for my Rockets.
Why are you shooting all the way till Friday night, though? That's why I'm confused.
The rest of the game sucked.
I mean, you're not wrong there. I almost wish I could do my dang dance and everything.
You can't.
But like,
it's all one seed.
Yeah, it's all one.
It's ridiculous.
But look, I wish I could do my dance because you're right. I'm so bored with these games
They're
that
so
we have
bored.
on League Pass. There's going to be a lot of great games on some major networks. We won't shout them out. Forget them.
Hell no.
But, I'm going to tune in to Timberwolves at Nets on Thursday. And the reason I'm tuning in to Timberwolves at Nets is for one person and one person only. I'm watching Anthony Edwards basketball because I just need to see somebody who cares about the game of basketball, who's going to play hard, who's going to do some Anthony Edwards things. You're going to see him talk smack. You may see him dunk on somebody. You're definitely going to see him shooting some threes.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to see that smile, but also that dog in him at some point. I'm just watching straight up for that. I don't care about the Nets. Nobody else does.
No.
And so but I just want to see some Timberwolves basketball.
Told you these games sucked. By the way, shout outs to our boy, family of the program, AJ DeBonza. I saw clips from the dunk contest. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was very disturbed, though. I was perturbed a bit, AJ. You jumped over Angel Reese.
No.
All of Baltimore is on those shoulders, AJ.
Tell us how you really feel. Tell us how you really feel.
I didn't like that, AJ. I love you. You my man. You know how we feel about you here on this show. You our dog. But you can't be jumping over Angel Reese like that, man. I was a little shook.
Hey,
it's Baltimore on them shoulders.
Hey, man. Shout
outs to Angel Reese if you watch. Shout outs.
She's a superstar, dog. But look, AJ was going crazy. I thought he was going to win it. I was shocked when he
came
did
in second, right?
No, he didn't even come in second because his second dunk was one of the most creative dunks I hadn't seen. It might just be me. I might have missed it.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anybody try to do that dunk ever in my life.
Wow.
So he did like a bounce between the legs into a windmill.
Ooh.
But it's like, you got to go and watch the clip if you haven't seen it, just to see what he missed. It was so creative, so athletic. He looked like he should have made it. The first one, I could tell he does that all the time. AJ, shout out to you, dog.
Yeah, man.
And then shout out to Tunde Yosufu. Hopefully I'm saying that
That's
right.
who won it?
That's who won it, a Baylor commit. He looks like an Anthony Edwards clone, honestly. I was just talking about Anthony Edwards. He looks like an Anthony Edwards clone. Super built, athletic body. You know, they're wearing all the Adidas stuff because it's McDonald's All-American game. But, yeah, he looks just like Anthony Edwards. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not
He ain't.
Anthony Edwards.
Right.
He don't play exactly like Anthony Edwards.
But
He's
the
not
build.
as good. But, you know, his build, his mannerisms, it reminds me of AE.
Well, shout outs to AJ DeBonta, man. We love you, but please, man, to be easy with the Angel Reese props. Okay, jumping over Angel Reese.
We get it, bro. We get it.
Relax,
right?
AJ.
She was fine. She was smiling and
I
laughing.
know, but it could have gone left.
She gave him a 10 on the dunk.
I know, man, but I get nervous, man. You didn't hear me. The weight of Baltimore is on them shoulders, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah, I heard you.
We're thankful that you're not careful with us, and you come in and party with us. So thank you, Travis Thomas, Ante Campbell. We always appreciate you, and we're with you every step of this way. Hey, we're getting closer and closer to these playoffs for the Celtics. Come on, baby. Hold my banner. We're here with you for the whole thing. For Travis Thomas and Ante Campbell, peace out.
Deuces.